Hmm, what happened here? Ouch. Basically, I am in a makeshift office right now because like the previous studio has been like obliterated or neutralized. Um, do I need to say more about that?
This is the moment.
It might be heartbreaking, but yeah, you just use whatever we have. So that is the peril of living in a country where it has a limited recognition. There are several countries in the world that have a like kind of a limited recognition for several reasons. For example, the countries like Palestine, Kosovo, Northern Cyprus, maybe you want to say Taiwan, one of the province part of China, and also from another countries that maybe you never heard of, such as Transnistria. Yeah, I cannot read Russian, so what? And another case is like Abhkazia and also North Ossetia. These are all that can be categorized as the countries with limited recognition. In order for a country to be called like a free and independent and sovereign, there must be several characteristics about it. Based on the Montevideo Convention, there are four major characteristics of a free, sovereign, and independent country. Firstly, it has a definite territory. The second is the government. The third one is the people, and the fourth is the rule of law that judges and rule of the whole territory about it. So that's for recognition. But there is another one, which is a capacity to have a relations with another country as equals. So in that sense that if any country wants to have a relation with another, it should be have like an equal status of it, deemed worthy to be discussed on the table, not lower rated or even lower. As such, the country with the limited recognition has a problem with this because sometimes they have a one of two characters that cannot be fulfilled by the normal standards of other countries that can fulfill. I give you an example. The thing with the Palestine is that the number one rule of a country, which is a territory. So currently, as I'm speaking right now, the West Bank is already been encroached by the increasing number of Israeli settlers in the West Bank, and while in Gaza, that is why the reason I move into these makeshift offices because, yeah, that's obviously. And such in the normal circumstances, when one country attack another, it could be a war. But this is not kind of a really a war because Palestine has a limited recognition and the territory it has is you understand so far? Okay, let's continue. But there is a people living there in West Bank and in Gaza. So what are you mumbling about? Okay, listen up carefully. Doesn't mean that people are living in the territories they are can considered as like part of the country. It doesn't work that way because there are several things that you need to be considered because like some of the countries because this country claim that the whole country like the whole territory is theirs. There are another example I will show you one by one. Another country with the limited recognition is Kosovo. Why is so that? Because the territory of the whole country of Kosovo is still claimed by Republic of Serbia as part of the theirs. Even though Kosovo has their own government, they have a president, they have their own people and economy such forth. It's working as a country, but not really fully a country because the whole land is still claimed by the other countries. Another example, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is used to be but part of the country of Cyprus, but then it started to break up due to the ethnic tensions in the 70s and 80s, and such it becomes a kind of independent country of its own, supported heavily by the Republic of Turkey. And yeah, you might think that yes, it should have a limited recognition because only one country in the world recognizes as a legitimate country of the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus. Maybe you can guess. Yes, it's Turkey. And still, the Republic of Cyprus still claim that the Northern Cyprus is actually a non-legitimate country and still claim that the whole territory and the whole island of Cyprus is part of the Republic of Cyprus. As such, the Turkish Republic of Northern Cyprus is a country with a limited recognition. So these two countries might be the least like less known example which are the Republic of Abkhazia and Republic of South Ossetia. Both are the republics. I used to be part of the Republic of Georgia. These two republics decided to split up from Georgia and declare their own independence unilaterally with the support of the Russia. But then Georgia still claims that this country is not really fully independent because they're still depending on Russia for everything, for the economy, for the military assistance, and also for the foreign relations. As such, Georgia say that these two republics, their whole territory is still part of the Republic of Georgia. I need to emphasize that Republic of Georgia in the Caucasus, not that state of Georgia with Atlanta, where it's because of them. So why all these things happen? Why there are countries with the limited recognition, and why the country still exists, and why don't want to recognize them at all? It is much more complicated than you think. It's hardly explained in less than 10-minute video. But what I can say is that, to put simply, the country with limited recognition is often that they have their own issue with the country that claim or control your own territory. As such, the government did the work. The people have less rights than the people who are being like settling down or being colonized or being controlled or whatsoever. And the rule of law cannot be fully functional as well because of the occupation, because of the lack of control, and so forth. So as such, the country with the limited recognition is hardly being discussed in the international politics unless it messes up the whole things. The Palestine, the Kosovo, that's two are the best example. Can a country with a limited recognition can eventually become free, sovereign, and independent one day? The answer is, in some cases, yes. I take for example, in 1999, before in 1999, there's a resistance fighting in the Timor, or today known as the Timor-Leste. And the government in exile is not recognized by most countries in the world, and because for limited recognition, and the whole territory is ruled by Indonesia. However, in 1999, when Timor-Leste get the independence, one by one countries in the world seem like Timor-Leste is worthy to have a relations with them, the whole countries. In fact, the first country to recognize the independence of Timor-Leste is none other than the Republic of Indonesia itself. It recognized its independence on the first place when the bigger countries, the former controller of the territory, recognizing the independence. As such, the other countries say, yeah, this country is worthy to be existed on the surface of the earth. With the case of the Palestinian territories, I don't think that state of Israel will give up the land and say, okay, Palestine can be exist from now on. It's not that really simple and that easy. If it is that easy, all the bombings and all the killings of children and women should be stopped by now. Just to emphasize on the politics in the world are really complicated, but I try to explain it in the simplest manner in this makeshift office after all the bombing and so forth. And even the electricity, the lamp is not stable right now. You see like that, sometimes it's blinking, sometimes it's too bright. So you can see here, because the country with the limited recognition has less say in the political arena. They have a less control to the people and economy, and even obviously less money to spend on better electricity and even a better office.